What's going on, guys, and welcome to a Full Transparency Trading Short, where I am your host, Sebastian. Today, we're going to answer a question that was asked to me recently, and it was if I had any, pre-trade rituals or something that I do. The answer to that question is no. That does not mean that I'm not a creature of habit. You got to think, I get up every morning at 2 o'clock in the morning and start my trading day. So, let's go to the 15-minute time frame. You're looking at that. Here is 3 o'clock in the morning where I'm taking a trade, another trade at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then a trade at 4. So it's not that it's not necessarily a ritual. It's just the times that I trade is like the end of the Asian session leading into the London session every day. Then I shut it down and go and get to the rest of what's going on. So no, I don't have a ritual. There's not like I pray every single time before I go, or I go on a long walk or anything like that. I do tend to, after I get into trades, go outside and walk around and stuff like that, and that's just like to de-stress and depressurize from being in the market itself. Even when you're winning, there is an amount of stress that goes into day trading. So it doesn't matter if you're winning or losing, you're gonna feel some sort of stress, because when you're in those trades, you have to get them right. But let's go ahead and go into our trades for today so far. Today is 10-2, as you can see down here. Let me zoom in a little bit. For 10-2, we have 8 trades taken. We've won 6, we lost 2. And this is a very important thing that a lot of people don't understand about my trading, is that I am very, very, very tight with my stop loss. So when I do lose trades, it's usually not by too much, right? So 5 contracts apiece, we ended up losing $387. So we gained a total of $3,400. We lost $387. We made $312 so far on this account, on these accounts right here, right? And all this is 3 a.m. to 4:05 a.m. So we did 2 separate sets of trades, and we went 75%. All right. Even better is what we did over here. 13 trades. We're 13 of 13. We're 100% for a grand total of $4,437 on this end. And all this is just a simple copy trade that took a minute. You know, if you copy trade multiple accounts at one time, you do a minute scalp, you get your total amount right there of 4,000. And then what it's crazy is our max drawdown, we got in right at the very bottom of this trade. Our maximum drawdown was $46 on 13 accounts. That's basically $3 per account was the maximum drawdown. So we didn't draw down at all. Really, you see the $48 for like a split second, and that's just the cost of entering the trade when you think about entering the trade on those accounts. And then it just ran up, and this trade was taken right at 3 o'clock in the morning. Let's go back to it. Let's make it a smaller trade right here. So literally same exact 5-minute candle. If I go down to the 1-minute candle, you may be able to see it a little bit better. So let's shrink down the screen on the 1 minute. It took a couple of seconds to enter. So the drawdown that you see is this wick right here for all the accounts, and this trade only lasted 2 minutes. So we got into the trade, we had the drawdown across all of those accounts, but that was as it was entering. So basically I set the trade right here on this blue line. I set the trade at the bottom of these 2 candles right here, right? We're getting into the trade, and then we take off for the 1 minute, and then we take off on the 2nd minute, and then you guys saw me get out. You guys saw me get out of the trade manually because I'm always chasing it or whatever. But when you're copy trading, you're gonna have several different accounts, but the key, like max drawdown right here, was actually 436, which means that we could have lost more money, but we won this trade, whatever this trade was that had the drawdown. So not absolutely perfect, 75% and 100% on the bigger amount of trades. But the real key to my success has nothing to do with like a routine or anything like that. It's just practice. I practice a lot. I make sure that I've noticed things about the London session. It moves a lot slower. It's a lot easier to read overall if it's moving slow like that. So that's why I like to get into this. You know, we pull it down to our low from yesterday, and then we started to slowly climb. We get up to this blue line here, we reject, we go back down. We start to climb higher, we get to the next blue line and reject and go back down. Then we start to climb higher. Then finally we kind of reach like a high point at 63 right here, and then we started to reject. So this was the Asian session, right? And I'm using this as the preface and the reference for my trades later on. So if we came down here at 7:30 at night, I'm looking for a similar thing to happen. Let's refresh this so you guys can see it. I'm looking for a similar thing to happen during the Asian session when I finally get in. So here we are, 7:15 at night, we get down to this blue line. Look at that. 1 a.m. in the morning we get there, 1:30 in the morning we get there, 1:45 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning we get there, 2:15 we get there, 2:30 we get there, 2:45 we get there. That's a pattern, guys. That's a pattern of behavior in the stock market. So what do? I go, we've been here 6 times now, right? 8 times, whatever. And I'm like, I'll just sit my order there. Like for the current hour that we're going in, as we're trending down towards it again, I would sit another order there. And then you're looking at how we went up and up and up, and we went to 63. This time we only went to 57, so we're about $6 off of the high from that time frame. If you look at 6 o'clock, the high is right here. So I'm gonna set an alert there, and I'll start taking trades to the downside if we can't break this. Right here as well, I'll set an alert because I want to know a little bit earlier before we actually reach the top. Then temporarily I'm going to put a line here, and that's just to let me know that on a 15-minute time frame, this is the high of the day, and then this right here is the low we already have marked out, and the lowest low we already have marked out. Don't even have to worry about that. But I literally set my trades to activate in areas where there's just consistent behavior, right? This is a $4 window, so all I have to do is set a trade here, protect $4, and I'm just outside of the range of where that's reaching to. And I do that all the time. And then we had the possibility of having that $4 drawdown, right? So you would have saw my max drawdown is longer. But the reality is that when my trade triggered at 3 o'clock, because it was 3 o'clock in the morning, you're gonna get more strength towards that the pushing of the continuation of the trend as we get ready to shift over to the London session. But you saw that on the 1 minute time frame. Gosh, I hate when you do that and it takes you to the all the way right. You see on the 1 minute time frame, it's 3:11 to 3:12 to 3:13. So it's really a 2-minute window that we're trading within that 3 a.m. So 250 starts here, 250 starts the uptrend. 3 o'clock brings it back down, giving us our opportunity to enter. We enter off of our blue line. It's pulling back, it activates, and then we get the push up to basically the 200 EMA. But whenever I am reaching consolidation, I'm more than likely going to get kicked out of my trade because I chase my trades pretty closely when they activate. One, if we are in a downtrend like this and we hit a floor, I don't care that we hit the floor and that we're reacting off of it. My automatic thought is, how much room do we have to the downside? And we have, from here, we have $10 to the downside, right? And since we have that $10 to the downside to get to this 57.33 right here, I'm not going to risk a random wicking out situation. You guys have seen it all the time. These massive wicks where it jumps down $10 or it jumps down $20. I'm never going to risk that happening to me because it's happened to me plenty of times before, which is why I learned my lesson. I chase the play. If I'm missing out on $1,000 or $500 or $200 or however much, I don't care because I'm still locking in profit. And you can stack your wins over the course of a day to make sure that you lock in profit. All right, as we come over to this account over here, you guys can see when I start my day. This day was started at 2:45 p.m., which set me up for that other trade at 3 p.m. At 3 a.m. But by that time, I was already in this trade, letting this run on its own, and then I can move over to the other accounts and trade them. And just basically we set the accounts up at the exact same spot, right? So 2:45 is when this one triggered. The next one triggers at 3. I stagger my entries for 2 reasons. If I do lose, I want to have it be smaller amounts across multiple accounts, so I don't always have my entries set up to activate at the exact same time. I'll go lower a little bit on the other ones and be like, okay, I want to be down here below this line. On the other ones, I want to be at the line, and then maybe some I want to be right here for the reaction to the upside. So we set up our trade. What entry was this? 10 contracts, 57.40. You see, this is a very late entry, and that was after the play already started. When we got to my next line is when I took that trade. So we get above this line with the body of a candle. That's when I got confident and I took the trade to the upside there. A partial trade, but you saw the other one entered right here, and then this one was staggered to enter above this line there. But because it's in the same candle, that's why the blue arrow is down here. Same thing for these over here. And as you can see, where are we returning to? We're holding this range pretty well. We're returning right back to that 43. We're at 47 right now. We've been to 46. You need $3 more before now to reach back down here. So this area is holding firm, and that's giving you guys plenty of opportunities to take trades here. And like I said, we are still in the downtrend until we break this area here and have the change of character to the upside and make like that little W shape like we did on this side. We're holding this downtrend. Eventually we're going to try to get to this 15-minute 200 EMA. We're going to try to get to the 5 minutes 200 EMA, which is right here. But for the time being, we're holding on to the downtrend and we're consolidating low. So which means that if we were to hold and consolidate like this for a longer time frame, we have the ability to run even lower. Let's look at the 4 hours 200 EMA. The 4 hours 200 EMA is way down here below where my initial floor was. You know, my prime demand zone. It's way down there. The 1 hours 200 EMA is much closer to where we've already been. We've already crossed it, so we're looking to get back up to it. You know, but if we were to fall down here to the floor, to the prime floor, sure, it seems like that's a lot of falling and that's very aggressive. But all that means is that because we're below this previous resistance, that it's holding us down and pushing us back down towards this gap fill right here. We never did fill this gap, right? So eventually we will have to come down and fill that gap. Doesn't mean that it's going to be right now, but if we do continue this downtrend, that is the area that I'm looking for. But that's it for me, guys. Again, take the easy money. I want you guys to really think about making day trading as simple as you possibly can for yourself. For some people, you want to use the Fibonacci. If you were to layer the Fibonacci over all of these blue lines, you would see that they basically match up. So I'm basically using my eyes to do the exact same thing. I just like using my eyes because, one, it gives you practice. If they took all of this away, all of these indicators, all of these lines and stuff away from me, I would still be able to day trade because I've trained my eyes to see all of these positions instead of using, because I can just turn these on, the ATR trailing stop and all that stuff. I can turn them on and use them. I don't like to. I want to be able to trade on my own without the handicaps. And there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying there's anything wrong, by the way, with using the tools that are provided. They're to make your day trading easier. But my system that I put in place of just being patient and waiting for us to come into ranges that have happened prior. There's a beautiful example right here. One there, wick down to this level, come back up. But notice that every single time, where do we go? The 200 EMA, reject. 200 EMA, reject. 200 EMA, finally break through, go back up, come back down, and then right back down to the same levels. And now we've been struggling to get back up ever since. So we're trying to head back down to this area here. So we're going to stretch this out all the way to right there. And then we're going to stretch this out to right here on the 1 hour, giving us to make sure that our levels stay in play. But that's it for me. That's another full transparency trading session. You guys already know what it is. We're shutting it down for 3 hours. We're going to go ahead and go take an actual nap. And then we will get back on this thing at 8 a.m. looking for that 8:30 move. And I'll be trading another set of my accounts for that one. But thank you guys so much for checking out the video. You guys have a good day. We're shutting it down for the night. I guess I'll just combine the 3 videos of me taking the trades in this video right here. And then we'll come back and watch it later. What do I feel like the market is going to do before I get off of here? I am bearish, but like I say, I don't actually carry my bias into the market. I'll trade whatever it is that I see. So you've seen me take multiple trades that were bullish, and that's just getting to this 1 hour 200 EMA and stuff like, I mean 1 hour 9 EMA and stuff like that, and the 15 minutes 23 EMA. And I'm taking trades that are bullish because that's what the market is showing me. If the market is showing me that we have a little bit of a floor right here, right, I'm going to take bullish trades off of that floor until we break this level and start pushing down further. If we would have came down here, same thing. I would have come down here, taken my trade to the upside. Come down here, take my trade to the upside. If I'm in the trend like this, I'm taking the trade to the upside. If I'm in the trend like this, I'm taking the trade to the downside, back towards the floor. There's a high point right there, there's a low point right here, and there's an even lower point, the demand zone, that we can get down to right here on the left hand side. But I'll take trades whatever the trend is telling me. So if the trend is trending up, we're going to take trades to the upside. I try to avoid counter trend trading like the plague. As you guys can see, we're at 57.45, so we're almost back down here again. Maybe this time we push down to 38 one more time. Trying to think of where I should set a trade up, because I will set a trade up for this right here. This is not a bad place to set up a trade. I think I'm going to set a trade up to activate maybe down here at 41, which protects me to 38, so it's $3. So yeah, I'm going to set a trade up down here and just protect myself down to 38. I'll give it a few minutes to see if we break. If we break this 42 line, then I won't do it. I'll just wait to see how far down we're going to go. But what I'm going to do for sure is set up a trade at 34 or 33 that we went down to yesterday. But again, this has been a full transparency trading session. I'm your host, Sebastian, and I'm out.